There's this battle between good and evil, light and dark. It's a belief that's historically, I suspect, stemmed from an ignorance of God, and therefore things are inexplicable. Some are good, some are bad, and you don't know how necessarily to avoid the bad, but you need to for life. And so it's a black and white world because of a poverty of ignorance. Whereas when you realise, no, it's a classroom, and you trust that teachers and the whole system is benevolent because of God teaching us, loving us, wanting us to succeed, able to make sure we do succeed, then it's not a case of good and evil, light and dark. The whole thing is seen quite differently. It's all good, and I'm just delighted to be part of it. Everything is joy, joy, joy. I said to the lady at the desk this morning, who is very happy, always overflows with joy when she talks to me, which is seldom. It's only when I renew my book every month. I said, don't let anything steal your joy. You see, you don't want anyone or anything to come between you and joy. The joy within you gives you that volition to engage in that which is joyful, a blessing to you. It keeps you alive, so to speak. So, of course, the rest of the story, you'd have to follow my recordings, and that's what, of course, I commended to. I said, follow me on YouTube, of course. And that's the whole point of the YouTube recordings, isn't it? That your life be a joy, an eternal, everlasting joy. Life more abundant, life eternal. Actually, I think you can hear her in the background at the minute. She's bubbling away. I'm downstairs now at the entrance to the library because I'm expecting a friend of mine to turn up any minute. Don't forget, the joy of the Lord is our strength. And that's not actually the Christian notion that it's the joy in us. Well, it is, but it's not our joy we're talking about. Our joy and our strength is a consequence of the fact that God has chosen, our Heavenly Dad, like a good dad, of course, has chosen to make us His joy. And it is that which is our strength. Because it's His joy, He is utterly applied in all this awesome glory, by which I mean both ability and love, to care for us and love us. Looks like the recording was interrupted by a message. So I have to think now how to finish it. Show me, Lord. Oh yes, it is that. I went back to the beginning because the last few minutes didn't really give me much of a clue. This original battle between good and evil, it's because in an ignorant, childish world, some things are inexplicable and seemingly very much what you don't want. So we have a concept of good and evil, and there's some sort of, because survival seemed to turn on the ability to be violently against anything that harms you, to remove its harm towards you. We see living as a battle of good and evil, but it's not. Look at it from God's point of view. It's a battle from lack of understanding to full understanding. And the path to it might be wisdom, which is a trust in the way to go. And, true wisdom is God's way to go, so to speak, the way He understands that you must come to maturity. So in our ignorance we had no grasp of the benevolence and loving kindness of God. And so saw our relationship in the world with the universe that we found to be a battle to understand and to avoid that which, we thought was a curse, we thought was harmful. Whereas, of course, good parents are protecting you from whatever would be truly harmful, but allowing you to experience that which is going to train you for adult life, for eternal life, good life. They want you to grow up to be happy, successful, creative, blessed person, don't they? And that's their purpose. How much more God's? But of course the child doesn't necessarily see this. They just think, Dad won't let me do so-and-so, and Mum doesn't understand that I want such and such. The child's battling with evil as he sees it, whereas the parent is simply doing all they can to bring you up well. Isn't that lovely? How much more lovely then our God that makes all things possible and loves us. Our Heavenly Dad. You see, the joy of the Lord is our strength. His joy in us keeps him ever, if you like, so to speak, applied to caring for us in the best way that he actually knows. How lovely. Love you, Dad. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. And so I found that I did end this recording, to my satisfaction at least, and I hope to God's and yours, that it be a blessing, of course. But do you see, I put it to God that he gives me the answer to the end of the recording, because I don't have it, and I just don't have it yet. Within a few moments, I do a reasonable strategy. I listen to the last minute or two of the recording again, up to the message buzzing, and didn't get it. So I thought, well, I'll go back to the beginning. What was the overall purpose, or the way this recording was conceived of as? Well, actually, I don't think I did conceive of it when I started, but the way it seemed to be going from now a hindsight view. And then it came to me very clearly, oh yes, I must say, and away I went. So to say, as a note here, it's a good strategy just to ask God and leave it with him, and then do what's reasonable. And of course he may not come up with something you're asking for because it's not actually right, but he so often does. And you just feel that you walk with him, that you're living each moment in his lovely company. Our dearest friend. Love you, Dad. Thank you, Heavenly Dad.